this video, we want to make a DSL and in the PowerFactory and connect it to a voltage source to generate any kind of voltage that we want. So for example, we can code, and in the code we can generate any kind of functions that we want, and that voltage source in the grid producing that one. So for first, we should make one DSL frame here, but click on create new tab and dynamic model, and here we have the DSL model type. So here we can execute one DSL model, and we should write the name here, and here is the title, is the model type, and different things are here. So for example, we just write source here is the name. And so now we have a DSL model frame. And in this DSL frame, the difference with the frame is that here in the left side, frame was slot was active, but here is the active. So you cannot click any slots, but here you can put the block reference here. So we just put one block reference here. Double click. Okay. So here we have one block reference, and it's something like a slot, but here we can define more specification for anything that we want to do. For doing that, we should create a new project type. By clicking here, new project type. Okay. So here we have a DSL block type, and here we can specify more specification about our DSL. So here is a name. For example, for a name, you can put scene because we want to generate one sinusoidal waveform. Here is a model type. Here is a variable. So here is important. So in the variable, we should define which kind of variable we have in the output, input. So what's the output signal, what's the input signal? So we don't have any input signal in this project, but if you have any input signal, we should write here. Output signal is O, for example. And state variable, we don't have any state variable here. Then we have also parameters and internal variables. So internal variables is not going from outside, it's inside of this DSL, and the parameters can be defined from outside. So for example, during the project you can change it, but here is not changing, and here is the output. So for example, when we want to make sinusoidal signal, we need the amplitude, frequency, and the phase, and here is the internal variable, is time. And then after this, we should write the equation in the equation. So here is a part that we can write the equation that we want for generation. So we have output like this. So it's the output that we have by O. It should be exactly the same thing that we find. So this is output. So how should be the output? Output can be the amplitude, sinus to pi. For pi, you should write like this. F plus B T divided by 8. So it's just normal sinusoidal waveform, and you should define that. Okay, what's the T here? Perfectly cannot. There's what's the T, so we should define this time. And we have another function. INC is for initial condition. So when you run the initial condition for RMS or EMT simulation, PowerFactory should know what is the initial conditions. Always you should make this one. If you don't make this one, you will have some error. But because the initial condition is same and we don't have any inputs, so we can just copy and paste here. So this is an equation that we made. This is a DSL model that we made here. And then we can just click OK. So when we click it OK, you can see here the name is changed automatically to design. This is a type, and here is the parameters that we inserted in the type and automatically came here. If you couldn't find them here, just clicking update, automatically it will be added here. And if not added here, meaning that you made some mistake here. Click OK. So we can see here the block is changed like this. So here we have the name of the block, we have the parameters, and we have the the output. So we should send the signal out. For doing that, just click on the signal, click here, and click to the port. So meaning that the signal go outside. So now we made this DSL model. What we want to make is just a DSL. We should make we should insert this into the library. For doing that, we should make a common model. It's something like the composite model, the composite frame that we had, but here now we should make a common model in the PowerFactory. For doing that, you should click on Data Manager, then go to the Your Grid and click New, and then you will have this window. So here you need this DSL model. Just click OK, and you will add it to your grid. Then here it will ask you some specifications. So when you click on New, you will create, you will have this specification. So here from the type, you should select the DSL model that you made here. Then by clicking select, here you will have the scene is the block that you made, the source is the frame that you made here. So it doesn't matter that now you select which one, but click source, and here it added. So you can see here is parameters we added there. Parameters are here, and easily you can change amplitude, F, and phi. For example, amplitude 1, frequency 50, and phi 0, for example. And then click OK. So you added to the model. So now is the time to make a voltage source and add this DSL to that voltage source. For doing that, first we need one bus bar and one voltage source. Because the model that we want to make is a single phase, just change it to one phase, 1 kilo, for example. And this one. And just to make it unbalanced, so it worked. So now we want to add the DSL that we made to this voltage source, and this voltage source then will act like that, the DSL model that we made. So for connecting any DSL model to the grid, we need a frame, same as the previous lecture. So click on here, dynamic model, composite model frame, and here's a composite model frame that we can make, and click OK. So here, same as the previous lecture, we can make two slots like this. The left slot can be, for example, signal, and the right one can be, for example, VAC. So these are what the source that we have is a signal that we want to send it to that. So for the signal, click on the type. We should insert the DSL model that we made. Click here and click select type. And then in a new window, we have this tree. You should just insert the source. Automatically, everything is at bigger. And then on here, just you should select the voltage source that you have. Now you don't need that one. Just here you need to add the class name because we don't have any uh, type for that one. But here we need the input. So here we have the input UI voltage, and here we have the output automatically is act. Just click on signal and this. So now the signal that we produced there in the DSL model automatically go to the AC source. Now we should somehow connect this one to source to these voltage source that we have, because PowerFactory cannot recognize that okay, this one is for this one. For doing that, we should go to the data manager and to the grid by clicking on data manager. Then by clicking on the new, and here just write composite model and click OK. Then we have this composite model in the grid that we have. Here, you should select the frame that you made here. So click on frame, select type and composite. This time we should click the composite model frame. And here just click on the composite model frame and OK. So here you can see we have signal and we have VAC. So the VAC is the voltage source, and the signal is the DSL of the source that we have. So click on the VAC, double click on the VAC. Here you can select the AC voltage source, and we'll be doing that for the signal as well. Double click on DSL like this. And if you want to, for example, change any numbers in the parameter, right click here and click edit. Then you can change any parameters that you want. So it's added. So you can see there's a variable to measure result. Here you can add any EMT model that you want. Here, for example, the phase voltage. You go there and close. And then you can make measure condition for EMT. And as always, plots. For 0.1. See, so this is the signal that we generated. So if you go and change frequency, phase, or voltage, everything here will change.